Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the American Tier 7 Premium Medium Tank, the Eagle 7. Now the Eagle 7 is basically a Pershing at Tier 7 and it's a pretty decent little medium tank. The gun can be a little bit derpy and in terms of its mobility it's a little bit sluggish. But on the whole, it's a pretty decent little Tier 7 medium tank. I feel like it's a little bit better than the T20 myself in terms of performance, just the way it plays. I just feel like it's a little bit better, but it does play differently to the T20 since the T20 is a little bit more stealthy and generally has the better mobility. But it still has that fairly similar top gun that we've got here, although I don't think we quite have the penetration that the 90mm on the T20 has. I think we've got a little bit better on the standard, but way worse on the premium. It is a 240 Alpha 90mm gun though, which has like 172 pen and 207 premium. I think we've done a video on this tank on the channel before because I think it was actually a giveaway tank before. Because yes, you can earn this tank for free in the D-Day earn-up that they've got going off at the minute. And it's a pretty good tank to pick up. If you don't own any of the three, I'd probably say that this is the best of the Jackal, because I think you can get this, the Jackal, and the AMX 1357. And if you want a decent American crew trainer that can hold up well, pretty well most games, this is probably the tank you're going to pick up, because I think this is a solid choice, a solid choice. If you like light tanks and you get on with light tanks, I would say probably pick up the AMX 1357 as well, if you can. Or, if you pick that over this, fair enough. Or if you already own this, pick the MX 1357. Because the 1357 is a funky little light tank that has that crazy little clip. But it's a hell of a lot of fun to play and it's very, very memey. And I love the 1357. But is it everyone's cup of tea? No. Is it the best choice out of the three? Possibly if you know what you're doing, but a lot of people might struggle to play it because it is a lot slower than your average light tank, and you really have to know what you're doing to get the best out of the clip. So I'd probably say that for the average everyday person, this is probably the best tank to pick, personally. Just my personal opinion. I mean, I'm not right, you're not right, everyone's not right. It's down to personal opinion. Well, I'm not right, you're not right, but you're right for yourself. That's the words we'll go with. Words of wisdom. I'm not right, he's not right over there, the other person over there isn't right, but you know what's right for you. There you go. We got philosophical petty in play here. Anyway, back to the Eagle 7, we digress. I just do think that this is probably the best one for a lot of people to pick. Because it's a pretty decent little medium tank. You can go hull down, you've got good gun depression, with your 10 degrees of gun depression, it's fantastic. You've got, say the gun can be a little bit derpy, which is a pain, but it is a Tier 7 90mm. Your penetration is pretty decent. You just got to know what to do with it. With 207 pen on the premium, you can struggle a little bit in Tier 9 games, but you can make do with it. The reload is pretty damn good. The camo for a Pershing is like 330 meters. 34 meters of steel concealment, which is pretty damn decent, actually. The mobility is the thing that lets it down, and the derpy gun handling, realistically. But it's got a decent turret as well. It's not going to bounce everything while hull down, but you can bounce some odd shots here and there off the turret. It's got the sort of angles and stuff like that. If you play it like a Pershing, if you played the Pershing or any of the other sort of M46 type or M26 type tanks, you are going to have a pretty decent time with this tank at Tier 7. So in terms of a crew, on this tank I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Trap Mechanic, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Camouflage Expertise. I'm a medium tank, so I want to make my camo just that little bit better if I can. So I run the Camouflage Expertise. I make the gun handling as good as humanly possible as well, because like I say, the gun handling on this tank is a little bit derpy at times and it can be pretty damn frustrating. So I want to try and make it so it's less so. And then I actually run Trap Mechanic. Now, in a lot of medium tanks, especially towards the lower tier regions, I don't run Trap Mechanic because I like to be able to maximize something else, and I'll use the reusable repair kit. But with the way I play this tank, sometimes I'm a little bit aggressive, and especially at low tiers, there's a lot of tanks that can actually perma-track you, especially if you use your repair kit and it's gone. And it was just one of those things that because of the way I was a bit more aggressive with this tank, I tended to get my tracks blown off, and then not having the ability to put the tracks back on straight away was annoying, so I ended up running Trap Mechanic. But, I mean, you can drop that if you want. And in terms of equipment, I run Rammer, Vert Stabs, and Optics. Vert Stabs to make the gun better, because, like I say, it's not great, and Rammer to make the DPM better, and Optics And as you can see, with this game, we managed to have a pretty damn nice game. We played this live on stream. We finished with 2 kills, 2.9k damage, ace tanker, high caliber, 695 base XP. Really nice game for the Eagle 7. Yeah, we ended up having this game. I think this was one that was on stream. I can't remember, actually. I know that this game here on the second game, it was definitely on stream the other day. And, yeah, if you want to see the live reaction to the game, you can go back and watch that on the stream. We had a pretty decent time playing it. Like I say, I kind of enjoy the tank. I just have little things that frustrate me, like the gun and stuff like that. But, you know, it's a pretty decent little tier 7 medium. So we're on to the second replay. And I mean, in that first replay, you saw what this tank likes to do. Get to a position like that hold down position in the bowl, donut thing, whatever it is. And then work the ridge line with your turret, with your good gun depression, and just keep spamming out the shots as you can. And we did struggle with the T29 a little bit with his upper plate, because it was because we were shooting slightly up at it, and it was angled and stuff. We were actually struggling with the 172 pen, which is why we ended up switching to the premium, and we managed to win that game eventually with the team coming around the other side. And we're on to the second game. And the second game, we are on Sand River. And I've come to this position here at F5, G5, because, well, I like this position from this flank. It's a really strong position. That means you can get good shots out across the K line. You can shoot people like this Tiger 1 that's sort of towards their base. You can shoot down at people that attack down the G line if they basically, well, if they have no one shooting at you from the K line. As you can see, unfortunately, we end up getting spotted. And we take a shot of HE from someone down the back of the K line. We get a shot into the EBR there. And I'm thinking, do I run? There's no one really down here except for me in this heavy tank, and they've seemed to have sent quite a few people into this riverbed. I probably should run, but you know what, I'm going to stay and help this guy if I can, because if we win this, it'll be alright. We've got a lot of people sitting in the base. There is nobody in the northern sector. We have a couple of TDs at GH12. That's not great. The position of the team is really not great at this moment in time. But we do have a heavy tank that's going down the K line, and he's going to be a saviour for us, because that means we can actually put a lot of hurt down the people that are on the K line, and we can try and, you know, unsettle that line, and thus then we can attack the people on the north. Because if they don't send anyone on the K line, or we manage to get rid of the people on the K line, then from these mid-ridge positions, from the people in our base, from this position at G5, we can actually derail any attack that the north puts out. They can do quite well to derail us as well. There's lots of things that they can do to stop us working. But we'll have very good positions, and so will they. But we'll, you know, if you know how to work it right, you'll be all right. So what we're doing now is we're popping blind shots. We know there's a TD somewhere. We know there's a medium tank somewhere. There's some stuff that's been shooting at us from these little ridges. So I'm just popping blind shots at the popular spots, is what I'll call it. The popular spots where people like to sit up high on the K-line and then try and get shots at you that are sitting at this position here. And we've been very unsuccessful. And there's the Hellcat 105. It's Jamus. And we managed to get a nice shot in there. It was only a couple of centimetres away from where we ended up shooting. We knew there was something up there, and it was that T25/2. We managed to get a nice shot into him first time, then the second, and he is really not going to do very well. This heavy tank that's progressing down the K-line has really saved this flank, because he is spotting them up, and we are managing to farm this poor T25/2, who is gonzo. Get rid of him, we're up to 2.5k damage, and yeah, you can see, if I hit one of those shots, I would have deterred the tank destroyer that was sitting up there, and you can see how close we got to shooting at him and pedding him and hitting him, but we just quite weren't there. Well, we weren't quite there with where he was. Now we've loaded premium, because with the premium rounds on this tank at 207, I think I can go through the turret front of this A43 Black Prince. I don't have to overexpose. As you can see, I got the first shot through his turret front, but we're not penning it anymore. And I go, oh, screw it. I'm just going to poke around and shoot him. There we go. He's gone. Goodbye, Mr. A43 Black Prince. Sorry for the premium, but that's just yeah, I could get rid of you through your turret that way. And unfortunately, I only penned one out of that lot, which is really annoying. But there's an E25. That was another tank that was sat back there on the K-line that we were trying to pop blind shots at. And now he's destroyed the heavy tank which was the British Bulldog, fair play to the British Bulldog, that was down there, I decided, you know what, okay, if that British Bulldog's gone, I'm going to move to this northern side of the ridge, because there's an artillery spotted at C9 because of our light tank. There's the Jagdpanzer 4 as well. Again, we knew there was TDs back there. It just always tends to be. We were just trying to blind fire things. And I decided, you know what, okay, clearly the light tank has proven there's nothing on this side of the ridge. So we're going to take this side of the ridge, and from here, with the last 6 enemy tanks, we can start getting shots from this ridge, hull down against them, and hopefully get some free damage without taking too many hits ourselves. So you can see the light tank has spotted the M12. He's trying to deal with it. We get a nice shot through the M12 superstructure there, because we can just about see it. We're just aiming the shots to make sure they go in. We get another shot into that M12, and we're up to 4.2k damage as he gets shut down. The E25 is going, so we pop a shot at the E25, and we ricochet off his ass! What is that, game? We ricochet off his ass. We get the second shot in, which damages his engine. That'll make him really slow. And we're just going to lead the shot in. And we jerk the gun so far wide there that shot only tracks it. But it should probably never have hit in the first place, to be honest. But that E25's gone. There's now the AT7 down below, so we aim the shot in, loop the AP shell straight through the cupola of that AT7, because it's fairly easy tank to pen if you shoot the cupolas. Now there's only 2 tanks left. It's Mr. Jamus in his Hellcat 105, and it is the artillery. So we load HE because we can pen them both with HE because they both have absolutely 0 armor. And hopefully we can get a roll for like 320, that'd be nice. And we're just going to go after them. But obviously Jamus has got shut down by the Stirrer Mill, which is a pretty good shot from the Stirrer Mill at K7. And there's now just the artillery, which is in the little dip. Our light tank is chasing after him, and I'm looking at this going, oh, I'm not going to get there, am I? It's probably not going to happen, and the Stirrer Mill actually gets the shot in to shut him down too. But we finished the game with a pretty decent total for the Eagle 7. Finished with the victory. 3 kills, 4.6k damage nearly, 53 assistance. The Ace Tanker, the Confederate, the High Caliber, and 1879 base XP. A really nice game for the Eagle 7. So as I say, it's a pretty damn solid tank. I think it's probably the one that most people would probably be the tank that most people would be comfortable with and have the most fun with. But we have earned it before, so a lot of people already have it. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
Great success!